Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. I'm on the phone with Blair Morgan, and we've been talking about some things, so we'll get back to Blair in just a second. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center, and you know how cold it is. It's amazing. Yesterday it got down to 22, and tonight it's going to get down to 30. It's just really cold, frigid weather, and y'all just know we'll get it this time of year. In February we'll have some more of it, so be prepared and stay warm. That's all we can tell you. If you're in a tree stand, take some warmers with you, take some kind of little heat with you, and if it's enclosed, you'll be okay. But I wouldn't get exposed out there in this kind of weather. Really wouldn't. High today be 53, low tonight 30, and the water temperature did drop down 1 degree to 61 degrees. The river readings, we've been in a flood stage for about 3 or 4 days now. The Apalachicola Bunchtown is still reading 15 foot this morning, which is flood stage. And it's going to start dropping Friday, Saturday morning. Saturday morning going to start dropping a little bit, but it's going to be a rapid drop too on Apalachicola. All right, Caryville, let's talk at you at Caryville. Looks like it's dropping a little bit this morning. It's reading 8.4. And it's got a good drop to it right there. So it's going to be in good shape. It's still going to be cold on the river though. Okay, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is "When Carrying Counts." Looking on your screen there. Today is the Friday, January the 9th, and we don't have a lot of strong tides, especially with this north wind coming in. We've got a 8:11 tide is low, and a high tide at 10:30 tonight. And I only got about a 0.8 foot range, but our marine forecast is north wind coming 5 to 10. That north wind is going to sort of alleviate that tide coming in a little bit in the northern part of all of our bay systems. Okay, it's Friday morning, and we're going to talk to Captain Blair Morgan from representing Blue Water Outriggers. Blair is just the consummate outdoorsman. We've been friends since we were little kids. I'm going to bring a picture one day. I've got a picture of us playing basketball. I think we were 10 years old. But Blair and I have been together a long time as far as outdoor buddies. And good morning, Blair.
Good morning, Winston. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You remember that old basketball team we played at National Guard Armory? We wasn't in it much bigger than a midget. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, that's been a while back.
I don't know why I just thought about that. I know why I thought about it. Because it was during cold weather, and we used to play basketball outside. I was thankful to get inside a National Guard Armory to play basketball. That's what made me think.
That's right.
Well, tell us what's going on down your way, buddy.
Well, of course, I'm spending most of my time up in Franklin County now hunting, and out here on the Cape, there's not much going on out here. There's a few of our visitors from up north. They're doing a little surf fishing. They're catching a few whiting and this and that, but not a whole lot going on up there in up off Apalachicola River. I tell you what, it's kind of funny, Winston, but I was in my little boat deer hunting about 2 weeks ago when the river was right, and I ran up on this boat. There was 3 guys in there crappie fishing, and I stopped and talked to them, asking if they do any good. They said, "What's your name?" I said, "Blair Morgan." They said, "Yeah, we recognize you. We watch Panhandle Outdoors every day."
They recognize your voice?
Yeah, they recognize the voice, and it's the Fisher brothers, the Fisher Stucco there in East Point. They said they watch the show every day.
Good
and they
deal.
really enjoy it. But they're the crappie experts of that part of the Franklin County.
Okay, well, good morning to that family down there and all those workers. How have they been doing on the crappie fishing?
You know what? One day they'll do real good. Next day they don't do near as good. I think they said the day before they were down there and caught 50-something, and when I talked to them that day, they had 15 at the time. But
yeah,
they enjoy going down there, and it's nice and quiet. They just drift around with minnows and cane pole and catch crappie.
Yeah, the old school way.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to get up with them one day and maybe film a show with them. That'd be really neat.
Well, I'm sure they'd enjoy that.
Okay. All right. On the St. Joe Bay, I'm sure it's just been really slow on the bay, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's nobody fishing out here. You know, we get these real low tides, you can't hardly even get a boat out in it. And then the cold weather, and of course the fish, they moved out of the bay. They're up in our coastal waterway and the creeks and rivers and everything.
Okay, I understand some guys can come in from the White City boat ramp and go on down to the canal and all, and they're doing okay on some speckled trout. Have you heard anything about any of that?
Yeah, that's the annual thing, Winston. You know, it's that time of year for it, and this cold weather we're having right now will just help that. It's going to congregate them all up there. They've been a little bit scattered, but they'll bunch up now.
Well, good.
I tell you what, we've been deer hunting. We're having a rough time. There's so much water everywhere. Tate's Hill is almost just flooded. I mean, all the fields are flooded. There's water running over the roads and places I've never seen it run out before. And it's just wet.
You know,
water.
You know, Blair, we've had a lot of rain here in the Panhandle, and it's just saturated. Like you said, the ground's saturated. You take a place like Tate's Hill, where it just permeates with the water, and I could understand why y'all getting a lot of it down there.
Yeah, it's really something. And the deer, they're getting on high ground, but you know they'll get out on those islands and find a high spot out there, and they'll hang out there, and you can't even get to them, you know, because there's water between you and them. So.
Well, maybe this cold weather keeps some of that rain out, and it'll start drying up a little bit for us.
Yeah, I hope so. We hadn't seen any sign of rut yet. I mean, as a matter of fact, we saw 2 bucks yesterday running together. So.
Which is unusual. Yeah, that's unusual in January.
Yeah, I know it. So they bound to start any time with this weather that we got.
Okay. All right, Blair. Listen, that's a good overall report. Appreciate that, and tell all the folks down there hello, and y'all just keep chasing those deer and catching those fish.
All right, Winston, I appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, Blair. We'll see you later. All right, that's Captain Blair Morgan, representing Blue Water Outriggers. And like I say, it's really been slow fishing this past week, and understandably so and all. Let's go and do our fish and game forecast brought to us by Mark Coward. Let's go and do this segment here. Our times, we're looking at it right here on the chart. We're looking at 2:45 this morning to 4:45. I don't think there was a soul out. I don't believe anybody went out this morning. But anyway, this afternoon we're looking at 3:15 to a 5:15. That's be a good time. It should be warmed up a little bit. So get a chance to go on a Friday, get out early. Be a good opportunity to be in a tree stand this afternoon. They're going to be moving around, really. All right, let's take our break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I just got a couple of pictures here. Let's go and get into those. Some good pictures. You know, not a lot of people out there, but the folks are being pretty successful. Check out bass fishing in the wintertime. This is a good 8-pounder. This is Trent Poe. Trent was in my class last year. He's fishing with Steve McLemore. Oh, Steve is a good fisherman. He's teaching Trent all of his tricks, I think. Nice fish there. And this is how you feel in the morning, folks. Check this out. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. The 5 stages of waking up. I just thought that was pretty good for this time of year because it's hard to wake up in this cold weather. This next one is special to me. Now, I'm going to talk about this one in a second. This is my nephew, Matthew, in the sunglasses, and his son, Dylan. Now, remember the other day I had a picture of Dylan on that little video from the phone and all. Well, he shot that one in a tree stand. Right after that, this buck right here, this is his first buck, and they're dog hunting. It's a little 3-point. And he's hunting there with his dad. And here's a fascinating story about this. I was talking to Matthew about it, and he was telling me he was excited about it. He shot it with a .410, okay, which is an excellent gun for a little kid like that. A .410. It had 5 pellets in the buckshot. Well, 3 of those pellets hit. 3 out of 5 hits, and the deer was running when he shot it. And that's really hard to do. He was about 25 yards away when he was running. But I think the most fascinating thing about this, he's hunting up there in the woods that we hunted at. And now Dylan is 7 years old. And when Matthew was 8 years old, he was hunting with me and my dad and my brother. My brother was his dad. And he shot his very first deer was when he was 8 years old. And the location of where Dylan shot his buck and where Matthew shot his buck is about 400 yards apart. And isn't that a fascinating coincidence? And I'm so proud of Dylan and Matthew keeping the family tradition going. He's part of those woods up there, and our family is, and that's just really cool stuff. And Dylan, I'm real proud of you. I know Dylan watches the show every morning, and getting ready to go to school up there in Bristol. But anyway, I just want to show you that picture, and way to go, Dylan. All right, next picture here. Listen, this is a good situation here. Quail hunt this time of year. You got your dog in the back of the truck. Boy McGuffin. Boy's been on the show before. Good outdoorsman, plays baseball now at Gulf Coast, and up there with his dad and brothers up there hunting in Jackson County. Remember about 3 or 4 weeks ago when this cold weather came in, I was telling about this guy named Willie the Weatherman. Well, I found all the pictures. So when I talked about, he was out of Channel 6 in Tallahassee. He just always called this cold weather like we're having now, it was a Siberian Express. And this is what Willie looked like now. He might have a cigar in his right hand, but he was, you see how they used to do the weather, just riding on the board. That's the best we could do. This was way before Doppler radar. But that is Willie the Weatherman. He's passed on now, but always got a kick out of his weather. It made it entertaining. Okay? Now, I love this picture here. This next picture coming up. This is Cody Hill, another 7-year-old. His first hog. This is Dub Hill's son, and ain't that a great shot? Look at that little gun there. And I know they had a good time. Good job, Cody Hill. All right, that takes care of our pictures. I wanted to make sure you send your pictures to us, and if I don't get them, I get about 99%. Every now and then I lose one in a crack, but send them to us. We'll show it, and a lot of people get a kick out of seeing. It's amazing this time of year we're still getting pictures like this, and it's really cold weather. Okay, next thing I was going to mention. Archery. Folks, if you get a chance, my students, we're in an archery unit in our outdoor ed class, and I've got 45 kids in about 5 classes, and they cannot, when I call roll, they cannot wait to get outside and shoot archery. I just want to relay to you how much fun teenagers have just pulling back a bow and shooting that arrow. It's just a simple thing. It's called fun. I want to pass it on to you. If you have a chance to get your kids or nephews or yourself, start in archery. You don't have to be great at it. It's just fun shooting. And for these 18-year-old kids who've been to school all their life to be jumping up and down and want to run out of the classroom, and it's like that every day. And they get out there, they're laughing and they're talking and they're just enjoying themselves. I wish I could portray that, how much they enjoy it. And I just and we make it interesting. We do a progression. We're going to start shooting when it warms up almost next week. I'm going to put a balloon in there. They're going to pop a balloon and all kind of stuff like that. But I just want to pass on how much kids, young people enjoy shooting bow and arrow. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break now. We'll be right back. All right, thank you for watching the show this morning. Glad you're here. I know you're cool and all, but it's going to warm up a little bit, but not a whole lot. Yeti cooler stolen. We talked about our stolen boat. A lot of people emailed and interested in trying to help it recover. And also, Yeti cooler now out of the back of Ryan Huggins' truck. Ryan watches the show. Y'all, we've had a lot of Ryan's pictures on over the years. Good outdoorsman. He had it locked in the back of his truck in his driveway, and somebody got his Yeti cooler. So be on. I don't know if you can identify it and all, but just if you have one, just make sure you I don't know, put a GPS clip in a chip in it or something. It's amazing somebody's stealing an ice chest out of the back of a truck in somebody's driveway, but people are like that. So be careful. I guess I'll tie everything down. On Monday's show, it's going to be really good video. It's going to be Whitney on an Illinois deer hunt, and it's excellent video. They've shown it on Cast and Call, and a lot of y'all didn't get a chance to see it, and it's so good. Ask them if we can put it on our show, and you're going to really enjoy it. So don't forget Monday, a really good video of a nice buck, and you're going to see some really good stuff. Okay, another thing now, I want to go ahead and enter these names. Look at all the names we've gotten in the last couple of days. I'm going to take time to do it. I've never done this many at one time, but if you don't hear your name called out, I may have missed it. Like I say, I'll get 99% of them, but let's call them out real quick. Lynn Richards, Southport. Mark Gibson, Graceville. Bob Campbell, Panama City Beach. George Jernigan, Bonifay. They're all over the place, aren't they? Lori Jernigan, Bonifay. Mike Eppenstall and his wife Tammy, 2 of them, Lynn Haven. Billy Joe Newsom. Okay, Billy Joe. Robert Colmetz, Ponce de Leon. Debbie Colmetz. That's the better half of that crew, Ponce de Leon. All right, Michael White. Stephen Saps. Okay, Judy Saps. Let's see. It's so cold. Renita White, Terry Jones, Youngstown. They piling up in here. I see them already starting to build up. Ralph Turner, got some loyal viewers here. Mark Jones, Eric Weberly down here in the Cove. All right, I think your wife entered you. She knows you watch the show a lot. Helen Turner. Okay. Lucretia Turner. Let's do it this way. Jason Turner. Fred Casal in Lynn Haven. Candy Casal, Lynn Haven. Larry Stevens, Youngstown. Nice letter from Larry. Mary Stevens. Thank y'all for the nice email. Edsel Swearingen, Wilhelm Swearingen. Jan Vest, Panama City. Joy Melvin, Fountain. In fact, the whole Melvin family. I've got about 4 or 5 of y'all right here. All of y'all. Okay, Rick Rogers, that's all Melvins right here out of Fountain, okay? Yeah, okay, all of y'all. Rick Rogers, Sandy Rogers, David Vest, Jan Vest, Bill Angevine, Panama City Beach, Gene Bigger, Bob Bigger, Judy Corbin, St. Joe Beach, Ted Gagnay, Lynn Haven, Andy Gagnay, Perry Gillespie with Tapo, Deborah Gillespie with Tapo, Jeff, I'm going to have time, Terry James, let's see, Trevor Campbell, and thank you so much for that Christmas card and Christmas message you sent, Trevor. That was really sweet and kind of you. Josh Turner, Louis Carmoni, Mariana, Darrell Weeks, Greenhead, Ed Turner, Debbie Turner, Philip Berry, Ruth Berry. I'm not going to say who's a better fisherman than that family. Terry Linton, Panama City Beach, Ken Kirkland, Frankie Nail, Mariel Kirkland, Gary Deal, Gloria Turner, Ernie Cox, Nat Harris, Debbie Harris, loyal viewers, Panama City Beach, Tammy Sullivan, Dwayne Sullivan. I'm trying to make this fast as I can, but I want to make sure you hear your name. Keela Ivy, Ronnie Harrison Sneeds, Martha Harrison, good viewers up there. Phil Hester, retired FWC, Dan Scanlon in Haven, Tracy Neighbors, Rayford Neighbors, Nita Ivy, Sandy Creek, Tom Martin, Panama City, good to hear from you. John Newman, Lynn Haven, Nancy Flores, Jerry Turner, Allison Martin, school teacher over there at Highland Park, Sean Alon, his wife Amy, school teacher at Bay Haven, Margie Gilmore, Highland Park, David Gilmore, Tom Platt, Panama City, Taylor Stanford, Lynn Haven, Taylor's better half, Brooke Stanford, all right, Harold Petty, Lyndall Petty, William Jones, Alpha, Martha Jones, Alpha. We're going to finish. Greg Taylor, Panama City Beach, Margaret Taylor, Panama City Beach, Joe Ivy, Sandy Creek, Randy McArees, Panama City Beach, Adam Taylor, Panama City Beach. All right. Now, let's got all of them in here. Let's go ahead and get ready to draw our first drawing of the year. Now, send them in. This thing's going to get full up. We're going to have all kinds of, not just our Friday drawings, we're going to have some other drawings too, give stuff away. All right, now, the winner, first winner this year, again, same way, first one will be a $20 gift certificate, and the second one is going to be a red snapper. They got good odds this morning because there's not that many in there. But so the first winner is going to be Ed Turner. Ed Turner. I got 2 names here, but it's Ed and Debbie, so I'm going to give Ed that one. Debbie, I'll put you back in there. Ed Turner on $20, okay? And stir them up real good. And the winner of the big red snapper, which is really good this time of year, it's going to be Bob Bigger. First 2 winners, Ed Turner and Bob Bigger. Okay, we're going to take our break and get set up for our famous Friday fishing forecast. All right, welcome back. Welcome to famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Dock Seafood. And we're into some winter out activities. And the first thing that comes to mind in January when you're talking about fishing is feeder creeks. The feeder creeks are so important. So just keep that in mind for several reasons. Number one reason, that's where the trout and all are going to go up in these feeder creeks. It hasn't happened yet for the most part, but it's that time of the year. Also, it gives you a great opportunity to get out of the weather. The north wind is prevalent this time of year, so the feeder creeks in every one of our bay systems. You're looking here at this picture of Choctawhatchee Bay, all on the northern shore here. All these bayous and feeder creeks is ideal. Work our way on down the intercoastal is going to be good fishing this time. I'm going to give you some general things, but going over toward, okay, well, I'll talk about here Crooked Creek, and then we'll these 2 creeks right here, we talk about these all the time, but I talk about the importance of Burnt Mill Creek and Crooked Creek, and they're going to be excellent this time of year. Okay, going over toward East Bay, Sandy Creek would be the main feeder creek there. Those feeder creeks are so important. Let me mention real quick, I doubt anybody doing offshore fishing that not a lot of people are doing anyway, but it's AJ and triggerfish. I did want to mention, I keep hearing that triggerfish, we may not be able to catch triggerfish much longer. They're saying we have a shortage of them. So that's not official. It's just sort of the word of mouth I'm getting from a lot of folks. Red grouper's open. And remember, gag group, of course, snapper's closed. Surf fishing, we talked about surf fishing a while ago with Blair. And during Christmas holidays, I did a little bit. It was a little bit slow, but surf fishing is good in the wintertime if you can get it on a good day. And anywhere, I haven't got a lot of pictures this past week or two because of the weather. Also, the St. Andrew the whole bay system in St. Andrew Bay, Choctawhatchee Bay, and Apalachicola Bay, the big target species would be two things: it'd be sheephead and black drum. That's mainly what they're catching now. Those two targeted fish. If you get a chance to go up, we're talking about St. Joe Canal. The canal there is going to be excellent fishing there for speckled trout. One thing I do want to mention also, down at Cape San Blas, St. Joe Bay has been really slow, and it's going to be that way for a little bit longer. But be prepared for when it busts loose. Now it's going to bust loose in March sometime. The freshwater fishing, crappie fishing has been really good. And you saw the bass pictures, wintertime bass fishing. You know, these guys still have the wintertime tournaments and all, so those are going to be good too. But a lot of us are in January or spending time in the woods, and we're going to continue doing that. January, like I say, the rut season and all. Blair said the rut has not started down there, but it's starting in some areas. So we're going to be doing a lot of time in the woods in January. But don't let that deter you from fishing. A good place, this fresh water now, keep in mind, this fresh water coming out of Deer Point Lake and all these other tributaries has pushed some of these fish back away from it. So the salinity of the water in our bay system is very important too. So that's something you want to think about. Surf fishing down at Panama City Beach on the west end has usually they've been really good this past year. It's a bit slow right now. You're going to catch an occasional redfish in the surf, so be prepared for that. Make sure everything's hooked up good when you tie on one of those. All right, we're going to wrap it up for the week. Don't forget to be watching Monday show, the Big Deer Hunt. Thank y'all so much for watching. Send your interest in now for our Famous Friday giveaways, and you just have a great day and a great weekend. Do something good for someone else, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.